Okay, so real quick disclaimer. I'm not a tech expert and I'm not a diabetes expert, so do your own research on this. But I recently got an Apple Watch Ultra 2, and one of the main reasons for getting the watch, other than to do a long-term review for YouTube, was overnight, especially to get my blood sugars from my Dexcom G7 app on the watch, so without having to unlock my phone and do all that kind of stuff. So that was my primary thing I wanted to do with the Apple Watch. So when I got the Apple Watch, so the use case scenario is I wanted to get alarms on my phone, so the loud alarms, or loud alarms on the watch, but I wasn't aware that the watch doesn't have all the alarms that the G7 app does on the phone. So that's the first problem, is the watch does not have loud alarms, just like the G7 app does on the phone. So that's number one. Number two, Apple does not allow alarms to happen on two devices at the same time. So when you have the app enabled as mirroring your critical alerts for G7 on your iPhone, they all go through your watch, which means at best you're going to get a small, like kind of like a bubble popping sound, and maybe a vibration if you have haptic alerts set on your watch, which for me is not enough overnight in order to wake me up in case I have a severe hypoglycemia. So the phone you can set on vibrate. It has very loud alarms which will wake me up. Everybody's different, but for me I need a loud alarm, especially if I'm in a deep sleep and I'm having a hypoglycemic event. So that's the huge problem for me, is that's exactly what I got the watch for, and you can't do it. So basically what happens is this. So this is the complication for the G7 app. So you can click on that and then it goes in to the actual app on the phone or on the Apple Watch. So if you don't want the watch to be the primary alert at night or even during the day, if that's something that you're worried about, what you have to do is you have to go into your, so this is the G7 app, you have to go into your Apple Watch app on your phone. So go into your Apple Watch app on your phone, and if you go into notifications and then you scroll all the way down to G7 and then you toggle that off, okay? So I haven't confirmed this in every situation, but when you toggle that off, this makes your phone again the primary alert system for critical alerts like hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia, etc., whatever you have set for your G7 app on your phone, okay? So if you go back here, this should be your primary sounds for critical alerts, okay? So here's the problem. The problem now is if you go in, it'll say check the G7 app on your phone, okay? In order to actually get a reading, you have to press the crown and go back, hit that, and then in order to get a fresh reading, you have to hit it. It'll say that again, then hit the crown, and it'll go back, and that will be a fresh reading, okay? So you have to toggle through those screens each time you want a new reading, which is not a huge deal, but it definitely is not ideal. It's definitely not why I got the watch. So let's just say I'm sleeping right now. I have my my main app on my phone. It should alert, okay, but I have this on my wrist while I'm sleeping. I wake up and I want to check my blood sugar, so I tap the screen, but that's an old reading. It will be an old reading. Tap that, you'll get the check G7 app on your phone, then you hit that again, and that will be a refreshed number. So a couple more steps to actually get your number. It's not just glancing down at your watch. However, you will have the primary alerts coming through the phone at that point. And then so what I do is during the day, when I'm not as concerned, I'll notice a very slight alert from the watch. I'll go back to my watch app and I'll just reactivate. So I'll go back home, go back to the watch app, and then I'll toggle back on the G7 so it mirrors your phone, so you're getting critical alerts, but it's going to be primarily on the watch. Okay, so if you're considering getting a Apple Watch, just understand that you're not going to get dual alerts on both devices, and if you want to turn that off on the Apple Watch, you're going to have to go through a couple more steps to get that which you wanted back again. So again, if anybody has an update to this, if Dexcom is working on a fix, if Apple's working on a fix, that would be great, and please leave a note in the comments, or if you have a different workaround that I found. I did a bunch of research. I went to Dexcom's site. I read every post I could find about it, and that's the only workaround that I could find. So what I would like to see is dual alerts, so you can customize if you want to have both alerts, or if you just want to have one, you should be able to control that. The other thing that I'd like to see is louder sounds as an option on the app on the Apple Watch, so that Apple and Dexcom can work together to make that happen, because right now that's just, the alerts are not good enough for low blood sugar, in my opinion. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention too, in case you don't know, is Apple actually limits the number of times that the Apple Watch communicates with third-party apps. So sometimes you'll press the screen and you'll just get a blank there, and you'll have to actually press that to get your number. So if you ever see your complication and it doesn't have a number there, it's not that the app is disconnected or it's not working. All you have to do is just press that blank spot on the complication for G7, and then it'll take you to the app, and then it refreshes the actual home screen. So it'll refresh that number there. So just a couple tips. I hope that helps somebody who's thinking about getting an Apple Watch. I would still get it. I think it's really convenient at night to just check the watch instead of fumbling for my phone or the receiver or something like that. So if you're thinking about getting it, I would still get it. And if I find any workarounds, I'll do a follow-up to this video and let you know. So hope that helps. Have a great day.